Okay, hello, this is Joel Rivera, and this is my minor religion project. I decided to do my minor religion project on Arastu. I'm gonna butcher some names here, so just bear with me, but I decided to do my minor religion project from this, and I decided to go the website route for this one, and I ended up using Wix in order to do my website. And yeah, let's get right into it. So this is the little cover page that I got for my website, Addison Minor Religion Project. I got a little picture of a Thor's hammer pendant. Let's see. Alright, so what is this religion exactly? So, Arastu is the revival of the Old Norse gods. Arastu is relatively new compared to other religions. And the meaning of the word actually means faith of the Aesir, or in the Aesir. So, belief in the Aesir gods, essentially, right? Which I'll go into in a little bit. And this religion is still really new and is continuing to grow and thrive even to this day. Since it's still such a new religion, it's getting new members consistently, really quickly. And then I posted a little YouTube link on one of the videos that helped me make most of this project. Alright, let's see. Arastu history. So, let's see. Alright, so the religion was founded back in 1972 with the main founder being Sevbjorn Beinstein. It's kind of hard to say, I'm not going to lie, but this term, as I said earlier, means faith of the Aesir, and it's from Iceland, which is where the religion actually formed. And this is a revival of the religion, not the original. So, not the original like heathenism. So don't think of the Vikings or anything like that old. It's very different in its values. They just believe in the same gods, but the way they do things and what exactly they believe in is very different from the standards back then. And this strand, as I said earlier, is still relatively recent. Is a relatively recent strand of Northern European polytheism, which is what I said. But although this is a new strand, the overall religion or belief in these gods actually is extremely old, and it is suspected to start at the Bronze Age and go to the Viking Age before dying off and now coming back again. So it lasted for a while, to say the least. Large-scale practice of the religion ended with the rise of Christianity. The main reason for this was because the religion was never, especially during the Viking era, they never really focused on spreading their religion. In fact, this religion didn't even have a name back then. It was just kind of, their religion or what they believed in, but their goal was never to spread their religion or, gain new members or anything like that. So Christianity ended up kind of, taking it over, and it kind of just died out with the times, right? And the new version was recognized by Iceland just a year into its creation. So it was created in 1972, and it got recognized by the government in 1973. And then for statistics, there isn't much info out there on this religion since it's still new and it's still very small. But it does have about 40,000 followers. I would say this number, while I'm pretty sure this is the correct number, take this with a grain of salt, since once again this is a really recent statistic, so it could be iffy. Let me see. Something kind of interesting about the religion is that there's no center of the religion. So basically there is no Mecca, there is none of that like most religions have. There's none of that because it's still new and still fast growing, and also kind of the way it works in the first place would kind of be hard to have a center in the first place. But it is the second fastest growing religion in Iceland behind Christianity, which is really impressive. And then it also makes up 1.2 of all the population in Iceland, making it the 5th most popular religion there. Remember that Iceland is where this originated, so this is really impressive for such a new and small religion. Let me see. As for religious texts, so there aren't many religious texts, and even when there are, there is no holy book. So you don't think Bible, don't think Quran, don't think Old Testament, don't think none of that. There isn't nothing that you have to have or have to follow. It's kind of just for guidance, and you don't even really need one to practice the religion. It's just there to help, right? So you have the Havamal, the Younger Edda, the Poetic Edda, and the Arastu Edda, right? Most of these are a collection of poems from old times. Like these some of these are really old, and then some of these are just revisions of old ones. So, like for instance, the Younger Edda is a revision of, I believe, the Poetic Edda, right? And the Poetic Edda comes all the way back from the Viking times, and is a really pure form, I guess, of the religion, you could say. But once again, these are not required. These are just for guidance. All right. And then over here, we have rituals and holidays. So, just like most major religions, Arastu does have its own special holidays, right? It has 4 in particular. The winter solstice in celebration of Freya, the spring solstice in celebration of Freyr, and then a summer solstice which celebrates human society and human laws, and then finally a celebration on the first day of winter for the Allfather, which is Odin, right? And the main ritual performed in this religion would be Blot, and this stands for sacrifice, which is exactly what it sounds like, but obviously it's not human sacrifices or even animal. It can be animal, but it's most likely not animal. Most people don't do animal sacrifices. What they'll do is they'll sacrifice food items and stuff like that in I guess instead of those, right? So usually it's ale, beer, alcohols, and they'll do those and sacrifice. You have to, in order for you to get help from the gods, you have to sacrifice something. So it's kind of a give-take relationship. In order for me to help you, I need you to help me, or I need you to give me this so I can give you that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of think of it kind of like that. Their beliefs. What do they believe in, right? So the beliefs can change heavily from each person. So from person to person, it's really different. But for the most part, the 3 main gods in this religion for everyone should be Thor, Freya, and Odin. And some people think that the gods are meant to be metaphors. Some people think that they're meant to be actual beings. But it depends from person to person, which shows just how different beliefs can be in Arastu. But this religion is supposed to be world accepting, meaning you're supposed to focus on action in this life rather than focusing on the afterlife. And practitioners believe that we are our deeds, right? Meaning that what we do is extremely important and makes up, who we are, blah, blah, blah. What separates Arastu from other pagans is that, not just pagans, the heathenism specifically, is their focus on the Aesir gods rather than the Vanir or any other form of god. And then the Aesir are more so focused on order, laws, and just all that, right? And the Vanir were more focused on magic, compassion, plenty, and things more along that line, right? The followers of Arastu do not believe that their gods are the true gods and they which means like they're just very religiously tolerant. They're not, oh, our gods are the only gods that exist. They don't really believe in that. They very much believe that each religion can have their own thing, blah blah, right? So they're very religiously tolerant. And another thing is, like I mentioned earlier, this is not like the ones from the Viking era. There's little to no belief in violence, war, battle, and blood, which is very different from the Viking era, where it was even said you had to die with a weapon in your hand, or you had to die fighting in order to make it to Valhalla, right? But they do believe in magic and energy, and they do believe it possible to infuse an object with a part of yourself, and they also believe the gods could do the very same thing, right? The hierarchy. So, the organizations are known as kindred, the priests are known as the Guthar, and the congregation is called the folk, right? To become Guthar, you need to have the wisdom of Odin, strength of Thor, and love of Freya. And they use these in different ways. So Odin represents wisdom to lead. You need wisdom to lead. The strength of Odin strength of Thor, to be strong within your community, and the love of Freya to benefit and to think for the benefit of your community. You need to love your community to really work for your community, right? Let me see. And they have an annual high council called the All Thing, which sets the laws that folks must follow. The main speakers are chosen by kindred, and attendance is mandatory. And then finally, on top of everything, is the high priest. I will not pronounce his name, but it's this guy right here. He's the current, like, I guess you could say, leader of everything. And then the followers of this religion can all be seen wearing Thor's hammer. Not all of them, but you get the point. Like, it's just to show their devotion. It's like having a cross, necklace. It's the same. It's similar. Some cool facts about the religion. In 2017, the U.S. Department of Defense recognized this religion and has granted rights to practitioners in the military. This religion is the most famous neo-pagan branch for pre-Christian Scandinavian beliefs, meaning it's just the most popular type of belief for the Norse gods. And then they use letters like runes that have different meanings, kind of like the alphabet, but they each mean different things, and it's really cool when you get into it. And they also have like they're also rooted in magic, at least in the religion. And then that's the end. I have some links here, and this is supposed to represent the Tree of Life. All right.